It's officially Super Bowl week, and fans eagerly wait for the Kansas City Chiefs to take on the Philadelphia Eagles at Caesars Superdome in New Orleans on Sunday. The Chiefs are looking to bring in a third successful Super Bowl and be the first team in the NFL to do it. Thanks for joining us today. I'm TJ Carillon with my co-host,
William West.
I'm Julian Ali.
And I'm Michael Dangerfield.
Super Bowl 59 is scheduled to kick off at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, and fans have a lot to say.
The game airs on Fox, and for the first time, it's streaming for free on Tubi.
With ticket prices soaring past $8,000, most fans will be watching from their couch.
According to ESPN, this year's matchup is set to break viewership records,
Proving that once again, that we'll watch anything with a good halftime meet.
New Orleans has also been in the spotlight over its security measures. New steel barriers were installed in the French Quarter Monday to restrict access to Bourbon Street.
With all the focus on security, the spirit of the game sometimes gets lost.
To get us back, we asked our sports broadcast students what football means to you.
Football means to me spend time with my family and enjoy watching the game I love.
Grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee. Tennessee football is the only thing we have to look forward to every year.
Football just means it's a great time for me to sit back, relax with my family, and enjoy a nice Sunday evening.
It means a lot to me. I love the sport. It's kind of unhealthy. I watch a lot of it. It's the reason I'm going to Austin Peay in general. I'm majoring in sports communications. I want to work in football. Like, that's my main sport. It's cool to try all the other ones, but it just won't hit the same as football.
I know I hate the Super Bowl right now, but I'm going to really hate when we don't have football on Sundays and Saturdays until August.
Obviously, me and Will here are part of our sports media coverage. So just want to start off, man. What does football mean to you?
Football means to me, I love the sport. I've always loved the sport. Played all through middle school and high school. I would have gone to college, but I tore my ACL, so that didn't work out too much. But I love football. Football connect me to one of my closest friends to this day. So yeah, football is just like an all-around game to where people can connect and have like the same interests in football.
And obviously me too. I didn't know that we had a torn ACL in common, but football is everything for me. I started 5th grade year. I met all my best friends through it. It's actually one's birthday. Happy birthday, Aaron. But yeah, it's a great sport. It connected me. It made me feel closer to my dad.
Yeah.
It made me feel better about myself.
Mm-hmm.
It gave me all my best friends. So I owe a lot to football.
Julian, Michael, any thoughts on what football means to y'all?
I played football my whole life growing up, so, just being in that atmosphere, being able to have those guys around you, the locker room atmosphere and the camaraderie. It's just fun. Even when you're not winning games, just being able to go to practice with your boys or, having those moments with your coaches. I feel like a lot of those one-on-one coaching moments I've had with them, like, they stuck with me till this day. Like, just how they approach certain things and how you approach life, it still applies to daily life, if that makes sense. So I definitely feel like football has made a big impact on my life. How about you, man?
I definitely agree with that. My family is definitely football oriented, so it definitely brought my family closer together. Like me, my brother, and my dad have boys' night out. Sneak to Chili's and watch the game. So it's really just having family time. Getting together and hopefully screaming at the TV. Cheering, whatever you got to do, and definitely eating some great food.
Great food.
Great food.
But it's almost been a year since the fatal Chiefs Super Bowl parade shooting, and even though the Chiefs are gearing up for another Super Bowl run, behind the cheering, there's one fan who is still honoring those 11 injured and one person dead from the fatal shooting on February 14th.
They'll come back by and look again and say, was this here before? And I says, all the time.
For the last 6 years, Dennis Basie has set up a mini arrowhead outside his house in Sedgwick. He started with these flags, and now it's this. It's all for his late wife.
She was a big Chiefs fan, and it's a dedication to her, and I just wish she was with me, and I know she'd be very proud of it today.
The attraction brings people from places where they root for, Giants, Broncos, and even the Cowboys.
People from New York, Colorado, Arizona, California, Texas. Fans will stop here and be strangers but meet one another and everything, and it's exciting to see that happen because it's just like the Chiefs Kingdom.
Basie has been a Chiefs fan since he was a freshman in high school. He's ecstatic to watch the team make this push for history to become the first team to win 3 Super Bowls in a row.
We're going to get that three-peat.
His excitement extends beyond his house.
When they won, it was so close, but I was cheering.
While celebrations are fresh on everyone's mind, Dennis wants to make sure we never forget one special Chiefs fan who lost her life celebrating the victory last year. Basie is adding a memorial for Lisa Lopez Galvin, the woman who died in the mass shooting at the Chiefs victory parade after last year's Super Bowl.
We cannot forget, and we won't forget. And I know this man will not forget.
He made it last February.
There are 22 roses.
1 rose for each victim.
It shocked the whole nation, and we were all hurt, mad, angry, confused.
Now he's going to make it a permanent part of his annual decorations.
I'll be putting it out this week.
In other news, football fans apparently aren't that excited to spend big bucks for tickets. According to the reseller TickPick, the cheapest ticket for the Super Bowl has fallen below $4,000 on the resale market. That's down 30% over the past week and more than 50% cheaper compared to last year's Super Bowl. So guys, I just want to ask you a few questions about the Super Bowl. Are the Chiefs consistently playing at a Super Bowl level? I'm going to start with you, Will.
I believe the Chiefs have played at a Super Bowl level all season, even though they've been scooting by one game, scooting by 1-score games towards the end of the year. Even though people have problems with, especially with the officiating, how they're calling the Chiefs games. But Kansas City, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes always find a way to win. They always find a way to win. And they always been playing at a Super Bowl level, even when they first got together, when he first drafted him from Texas Tech. So I believe Kansas City, yes, will play at a Super Bowl level this Super Bowl and the more Super Bowls to come.
Well, thank you, Will, on that one. And I just wanted to ask you that. Obviously, with the Chiefs head players being at the start of the advertising now for the NFL, they definitely have a lot more skin in the game, not only in the game itself, but the money behind the game.
Yeah.
So that brings me to my next question. Are you starting to lose faith in the believability of the NFL? And I'm going to go to you guys on that one, whoever wants to answer first.
You know, I feel like personally, I don't think it's scripted, but I think it definitely is, favored to some things.
Really?
Because there are some calls that, people miss. All of our referees are human. We all make mistakes, but the Chiefs, I think, they're adding up a little bit too much. I don't really know.
Nah, I'm going to take the panel from him. Look, I've been things scripted. Look, Tom Brady set the standard for scriptures a long time ago with the deflation gate. I think this Super Bowl might have a little skeptical things too. Just the referees might be one thing, but there might be something else there. Whether it's a catch that's not a catch, a fumble that's not a fumble, there's going to be something there that they always make the Chiefs take the win for. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, all right, Drew, I'm going to ask you this. Obviously, you're not a big fan that the Chiefs are in this game already.
No.
So do you believe that Bills and Commanders would have been the better game?
Yeah, I definitely believe that. And I'm an Eagles fan, so it's hard for me to say that, but I truly do believe that the Washington Commanders and the Buffalo Bills would have been a better game. One, because Josh Allen is not way more deserving of it because, everything is earned in this league. But he's fought his way. He's lost players. He's lost teammates, and they've still always appeared to be in the AFC Championship. Yep. And then on the other hand, we look at the Washington Commanders. They haven't been to this position and where they were in years. And then for a rookie quarterback to come in off of LSU, he left Arizona State, went to LSU, won the Heisman, and then comes in here and then does what he's supposed to do and gets them all the way to the NFC Championship. And, the Eagles ended up taking the win. But at the end of the day, I still would have wanted to see them win because Jaden Daniels is such a hardworking player, and he deserves that. So, yeah, I definitely think the Buffalo Bills and the Commanders would have been a better game.
Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate your honesty on that one.
Yeah, man. Not a problem, man. Well, flipping the switch. So we have an 88-year-old man that attends every single Super Bowl. being able to attend every single Super Bowl is a lot of people's dreams, but being able to attend all 59 of them is something that you've never seen possible.
And that dream is a reality for 88-year-old man Don Chrisman of Portland, Maine, who has attended every Super Bowl since the first one back in 1966. Don is one of the only 3 people who have achieved this amazing accomplishment.
Don hopes he can continue his streak next year by making it to the Super Bowl 60 just before his 90th birthday.
All right, guys. So for our next segment, we're looking at superstars under the radar. We're looking at some of the guys who aren't like the headliners, who aren't your Kelsey Mahomes or Saquon.
Yeah.
Looking at the guys who really make a great impact on the game, but are not unheard of, but not spoken about as much as other key players. So who wants to start this one out, guys?
I'll go.
Start?
I'll start
Okay,
it
go
off.
ahead.
So the
Let's
first
hear it,
thing
man.
we're going
Let's
to
hear
talk about the 2 players on the Eagles. We call them 8 Mile. It's literally what they call them on the Eagles. It's the 2 white boys. You got Cooper Dean and
Reid Blankenship.
Reid Blankenship. Man, it's crazy because they really started having a stand. I think Coop or Reid got there last year, but they both ended up coming together this year and being the dynamic duo on our defense. And they just had an outstanding year. I don't know if it was Reid or Coop. Ended up pile driving, what's his name, Derrick Henry earlier this year.
I think it was Cooper DeJean. It was Cooper DeJean when they played each other.
Yeah, when they played the Ravens this year. And Derrick Henry is a big guy. I know y'all. He's 250, and Coop's only probably about 5'11", 180, 190. So I think those 2 are going to be very big and very prominent players that stand out in the Super Bowl this year. What about you guys?
Well, me personally, Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton, linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs. He makes a lot of plays other than Chris Jones and Nick Bolton, and also Trent McDuffie. Trent McDuffie is one of the more underrated cornerbacks in the league I've seen. He locked up Deebo Samuel in last year's Super Bowl. So that was a key to them winning. But Nick Bolton and that whole defense led by Steve Spagnuolo, I think they're going to call some great defensive plays to stop Saquon. That's the main vocal point. If you stop Saquon and make Jalen Hurts throw the ball, they win the game. So I think Nick Bolton and Trent McDuffie are always going to have an impact on the game. That fly under the radar.
What about you guys?
Personally, I would like to say Jalen Carter from the Eagles. Yeah, man, he's a dog, man. He backs his talk up for sure. That's one thing I really just hope that I hope he really just goes and gets Mahomes. And every single drive he back in that backfield, making his jersey dirty.
Party in the backfield.
TJ, anybody you think fly over the radar?
I think you covered them all, guys.
Okay.
Right.
Well, now it's time for our debate section of the show. Basically, these guys are very opinionated about both 2 teams, so we're just going to let them duke it out. What do y'all want to talk about first?
Well, it depends. I mean, do you want to go who's going to win? Do you want to go it depends on what you want to talk about. Julian, it's on you, bro.
We can talk about who's going to win. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to go to that point where we go at our heads, but I want to get to the point where we're talking about more than just who's going to win and why we're going to win. I think the Eagles are going to win. Personally, it's our year. We got our team this year. We got way more players than when we went against them in the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Okay.
We got new DBs. We got Gardner Johnson back from Detroit.
Okay.
Obviously, the addition of Saquon. And then the one thing that I will say that we have that we didn't have going into the last Super Bowl is healthiness. Now, we do have our 2 O-linemen down. You were telling me about earlier in the week our 2 centers.
Yes.
But other than our 2 centers being down, we have a very healthy team this year. Everybody's going to be suited up to play. Jalen Hurts has the bum ankle or knee, but it didn't end up stopping him last week. And at the end of the day, like I was trying to tell people, is as long as we turn around and hand the ball off to Saquon, I just need 2-3 steps out of you every single play. I don't need too much.
Well, I like to challenge you on that. Well, it depends on the roster. On paper is better for the Eagles, but they don't have Patrick Mahomes. You talk about a guy that's about to win his 3rd Super Bowl in a row. I promise you. I think Patrick Mahomes will win the Super Bowl and eclipse of being Tom Brady as the greatest quarterback of all time. Now, it depends. Now, how they're going to win, number one, stop Saquon Barkley. Okay. That's the key to them winning. And plus, with Steve Spagnuolo, you think Spagnuolo's going to let him run all over him like Saquon did the Commanders last week?
No, I don't think that, but I think it's going to be a challenge because like you were saying earlier, they've only had close game wins, right? They've only really had close game wins. And with those close game wins, it came from maybe field goals, maybe 1 touchdown, something like that. Yeah. Saquon, every game he's played in this year, has had 1 to 2 touchdowns alone himself.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you have to put that into perspective, as in like he is that guy. They're going to feed him the ball, whether they're going to stop him and he's not going to go, or if not that he's not, whether he goes over 100 yards or not, they're still going to feed him that ball. He's going to have at least 20-something carries. So we have to worry about him getting stopped, and then on top of it, we got AJ Brown on the X, Devontae Smith on the Y, and then you got Doxson as the slot back. And then we all know, I don't want to say we all know, but Jalen Smith isn't the best passer, but all I need from you is 2-3 yards, get a slant to him, and then at the end of the day, hand the ball right back off the gym.
Last thing before we go to the next topic.
Yeah.
Last thing, can you really trust Jalen Hurts? Because last time I checked, you know what I'm saying? Like, last thing I saw Jalen Hurts, you know, he made some throws. Now, don't get me wrong, Jalen Hurts is a decent player, but if they try to get into the passing game a little bit too much, that's when Steve Spagnuolo.
I believe that.
See, so when we talk about AJ Brown, you talk about Devontae Smith,
talking about
you talk about Goddard, y'all have all these weapons,
right?
But still, can Jalen Hurts get them the ball? That's the big thing in this game.
All we need is a 10-yard under. All I'm looking for from Jalen Hurts.
But think about it is with Jalen Hurts, you can't count on him to throw a slant right. You saw that last time they played in the playoff game. We tried to throw a slant to AJ Brown, and obviously Marshawn Lattimore was all over it. But at the same time, we can't depend on Jalen Hurts to not hold the ball for 3 or 4 business days and then get sacked to the shadow realm. So you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is Jalen Hurts is going to be the X factor of this game, whether they win or lose.
Yeah. Okay. I validate that.
Well, all right. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for your comments on that.
Yes, sir.
We'll switch it to Michael here.
Yeah, talking about the Kendrick Lamar halftime show. Kendrick Lamar is heading to the Apple Music Super Bowl 59 halftime show at the Caesars Super Bowl in New Orleans on Sunday. LaTriah, Fletcher, and Quintarius Udley ask students what they want to hear.
All right. So what are your Super Bowl plans for this weekend?
Not much. Honestly, just chill with some friends, order some pizza and wings, and just watch the Super Bowl, basically.
Yeah.
All right. So I will probably watch the Super Bowl at my friend's crib.
I plan to go back home and watch the Super Bowl with my father and my mother. That's it.
I plan on going home and we're having a party at my house.
And what is your all-time favorite halftime show?
Absolutely Michael Jackson. Who else do you know is levitating from place to place to place and had so many people coming down to his stage and could stand there for a whole 7 minutes just not moving? Like, come on now, King of Pop.
Not a big football watcher, but my favorite halftime show would probably have to be whenever Snoop Dogg performed.
Thanks.
Favorite halftime show? It's definitely gonna be Rihanna. She gonna take it from me.
Favorite halftime show? Honestly, I would have to say Kendrick. It was a while back though. Kendrick, he going again this year too, so good to have him up there again. But honestly, I am going for the Eagles. I don't want the Chiefs to win. I am going for the Eagles, so I hope they do come out with the win.
All right, gentlemen. What is your guys' favorite halftime show?
Favorite halftime show would be obviously 2 years ago. Actually, no, I think it's closer to 3 years ago. It was Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J,
yeah, I like that
Eminem, 50 Cent, and I think Kendrick was there too. That Super Bowl halftime show is symbolic to me because it's just West Coast, artists. Yeah. And they was obviously on the West Coast. They were in SoFi Stadium in the Super Bowl, so that'd probably go down as one of my favorite. Underlying one that I liked too was Beyonce. Beyonce was one of my underlying ones other than that, but yeah, that's those two are probably my favorite 2 ones.
I'm gonna have to go with Will on that first one. I think that one was my favorite. Just that mix of music and that legacy of music was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. He took mine from me, but the Beyonce one, I'm a big fan of Beyonce. I'm not even gonna lie. So being able to see her come on stage perform, and I'm a football fan, so being able to watch football and then see Beyonce in the middle of the football game and then go back to the football, it was pretty cool. So Beyonce is definitely my number one. What about you?
I definitely like Rihanna. I'm gonna say that.
I forgot about that one.
But I know some ladies at home, you definitely like the Usher halftime show, probably from about a year.
That was last year.
That was last year. Yeah.
Yeah. His beats almost sniped him out of the crowd the way he was hugging on Alicia Keys.
I remember that.
Well, all right, guys. Obviously, football's not for everyone. So on Super Bowl Sunday, you need a few alternatives, and one of those is the Puppy Bowl. Bunch of dogs playing around, cute stuff, cute clips, and hopefully they get adopted. So we went around campus and asked students, do you prefer the Puppy Bowl or the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl or Puppy Bowl?
Puppy Bowl.
Puppy Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Yes.
Super Bowl.
Yeah. Puppy Bowl.
Puppy Bowl.
I haven't watched a whole lot of Puppy Bowl, so I'll go Super Bowl.
Same.
Super Bowl. Because I don't know about Puppy Bowl. Haven't seen it. You know.
What? Are you watching the Super Bowl or the Puppy Bowl this year?
Puppy Bowl.
Puppy Bowl. Super Bowl wins.
Well, that was great, guys. Obviously, Super Bowl coming on top. That's what we would expect.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to be doing anyways. So our next one. Anyone not watching the Super Bowl? William, Arvin, and Luke Reid had the chance to ask students around campus.
What are you doing instead of the Super Bowl?
I'm going to be home not doing anything, to be honest.
So you're not interested in the Super Bowl?
I mean, I am, but like I don't have any plans at the moment.
Instead of doing the Super Bowl, I might just be like hanging out with my boyfriend and like drawing and playing games and stuff.
I'll probably be home doing homework.
Well, I'm probably going to watch a little bit of it and then practice. We have the opera coming up, so.
What team are you rooting for in the Super Bowl?
Probably the Eagles. I'm more of a Steelers fan, but anyone from Pennsylvania.
I don't really watch the Super Bowl unless it's the halftime. I'm really just there for the food.
In terms of the Super Bowl, are you excited for the performance for this year's Super Bowl halftime?
Oh, yes, very.
What are you doing instead of the Super Bowl?
Honestly, I have no clue.
Are you a sports fan or?
Not really. I played softball when I was younger, but I'm not super into it now. I quit.
Okay. Between the Eagles and the Chiefs, who do you have a preferred winner or anything?
I don't, honestly.
I plan on watching it with my family. I'm going back home this weekend in Nashville to watch it with my family. So.
What team are you rooting for?
The Eagles.
So I'm going to have to watch the Super Bowl because my mom is a huge Chiefs fan. So I'll be listening to my mom yell for 4 hours straight.
So is it safe to say that you're a Chief fan?
I am not a Chief fan.
Thank you so much for the interview. We greatly appreciate it.
And with that, folks, that's all we got for you today. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great weekend.
And enjoy the Super Bowl. And always,
let's go Peay!